My back pocket. Anybody see what that is?
Is that a 5?
I think that's a 5. There. It's fucking 5.
Man, let me be the first to tell you guys that I cannot get enough of football right now or the way the things are playing out for the Detroit Lions. I mean, it's really unbelievable what we're witnessing, and I think it's time to finally recognize that this football team has officially moved into elite company status and are now serious Super Bowl contenders. Which, man, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, still feels really weird to think about or say. And I mean, seriously, how can you not be excited for this team when they are truly living up, to all the hype that was in the offseason and stacking up wins in the fashion that they are? And if you guys are as excited as me and love the Lions content, please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, because it does help me out. More people get to see this, and we're on a mission of 5K, so I'd greatly appreciate it. And I also wanted to give a massive thank you to all of you that liked my previous Lions video. You guys really absolutely blew it out of the park and honestly are the best fan base out there. So let's try to get another 1,000 likes on this Lions video. Just really unbelievable support we've been having. But going back to the Lions, the way that they played and ultimately won against the Bucs on Sunday has got to be hands down their best win of the season, in my opinion. I mean, just really overall well executed complementary football all around. This team felt like it could beat you anywhere. Offense, defense, special teams. I felt like really nobody had a bad day. And honestly, that's the scariest part right now in the season, because I feel like the Lions are just starting to hit their stride. And really, the win against the Bucs couldn't come at a better time, because both the 49ers and Eagles lost yesterday, which means that your Lions are currently sitting tied both for the best record in all. The Super Bowl were a pipe dream. Like, it's a legit possibility that this team could have a first round bye in the playoffs. And really, the sky's the limit for Dan Campbell and this squad, because currently they have the second easiest remaining schedule on the year. Oh, and I feel like a kid all giddy and excited, like I'm really itchy to buy home playoff tickets and Super Bowl tickets. Like, to me, honestly, right now, I feel like we're witnessing the best team in our lifetimes. And sure, that might just be a lot of hype and Kool-Aid in me right now, but in all seriousness, and like I said in the last video, the largest part of why the Lions are where they are right now is because of Jared Goff. I mean, seriously, boys and girls, the guy is on a legitimate terror run right now in his quest for, some sort of magical revival story of his career, helping the Lions get to 5-1. And honestly, kudos to Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson for, letting this guy rip it around and establish large aspects and concepts and identities of the offense around him. Like, in my totally honest opinion, I don't think it was just the Lions' best game, but I think it was Jared Goff's best game as a Detroit Lion. And that's the craziest part, because I feel like we're saying this every week about Goff. Like, literally, some of the throws he was making against the Bucs were into windows the size of a freaking thumbnail. And a lot of people in the last Lions video were making fun of me how much I was saying balling out. Well, this guy is legit balling out. And really, and I can't believe that I'm saying this, I think it's time to put Jared Goff in discussion for league MVP this year. Especially considering the fact that during the game when he lost Monty and pretty much all of the running game in the offense midway through the second quarter, what was it? I think the Lions only finished for 40 yards rushing on the day, but that's because they got a beat up running back room and the Bucs line was stopping them all freaking day. Like, what's really impressed me about Goff this year, but primarily in this game, is that he's put the game and offense really on his shoulders. And I remember people early on giving Goff crap and flack about not being able to take full command of an offense like Stafford did. Or what was it? He doesn't have a running back. He can't run play action. He'll be sucky without a running back. Goff's the dude, man, and I'm fully bought in for MVP. Like, seriously, I cannot get over how accurate some of these passes were. And oh my Lord almighty, that throw to JMO was an absolute beauty and really a spark to the rest of the team. A lot of you guys should have seen the reaction I had on my live stream. And I'm not going to show you the whole thing because I was honestly freaking out like an animal, but understandably, welcome back, JMO from suspension. On the day, Goff would end up having a completion percentage of 68.2, throwing for 353 yards for 2 TDs with 0 interceptions and having a passer rating of 107.5. And currently, as it stands right now, Goff is 5th in passing yards on the season behind Tua, Cousins, Stafford, and Stroud at 1,618 yards. And honestly, another thing that I felt so impressive about this win was I think they could basically field another team and a half with the amount of backups that are playing starter roles right now. I mean, just think about how many guys that they had out in this game. Brian Branch, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonah Jackson, Bam Knight, James Mitchell, Emmanuel Mosley, and Josh Pascal. CJ Gardner-Johnson, who you lost to a torn pec, and James Houston, who fractured his ankle. It just blows my mind levels over that this team is so hurt, yet they're still finding guys to step up up and make plays to win football games. And mind you, this wasn't a blowover game for the Lions. The Bucs have been playing pretty fire so far this year. A top 15 defense with one of the highest blitz rates in the league that it could only get to Goff one time today. And it was Coyote Iwasaka's first start, and he gave it up to Kalijah Cansey. Other than that, the offensive line played pretty well. And then my 3 stars on defense were Alex Anzalone, who probably had the best game he ever had as a Lion. Florida man comes back to Florida and plays, man. Jerry Jacobs, who continues to ball out in zone coverage, should have came down with his 4th interception. Cam Sutton also had a nice day. I thought he should have had another interception. I think it was on Devin Tompkins. And then my runner-up, who I thought got a lot of lucky breaks playing for the injured Brian Branch, Will Harris. There was a couple times where he was beaten by Mike Evans and Trey Palmer, but Baker was able to help him out by overthrowing them. But despite this, I really did think Harris demonstrated, his proficiently, especially in run defense, and he managed to get that, I think it was that nice interception off Isaiah Buggs. But even then, on that play, Mike Evans was wide open for a touchdown. And another thing that I found so impressive, and I said this last week, is just how proficient that the Lions coaching staff are getting with managing clock and playing to their opponent. The Lions absolutely had one of their most impressive time of possessions at 36 minutes to just 23 minutes for the Tampa Bay Bucs. And overall, they were really effective on 3rd down, getting 9 out of 16. And I know they eventually got points in the 3rd quarter, but it literally pisses me off every single time that when the Lions receive second half, they aren't able to score on that opening drive. And yeah, I'm probably being a little bit nitpicky, but if you want to compete against the top dogs where you're at right now, you need to put your foot on your opponent's throat. But hey man, according to Pardon My Take, the Lions currently have the longest active streak, scoring 20 plus points. And I think that has to go back to the way the defense has played this entire year, being the fact that the Lions have held opponents to under 50 rushing yards 3 times in the first 6 games of the season. And the last time they did this was in 1943. And like I said to you guys in the last Lions video, I finally think this coaching staff understands what it takes to win and do it in fashion, and we're seeing the results come to fruition. And again, I can't give enough credit to Dan Campbell. Props for him for making this coaching staff work and finding ways to make the best out of their players. It's just crazy. Every single week I feel like we're breaking a historical stat here. And next week again, you go into a hostile environment in Baltimore facing an MVP quarterback who's not playing the best right now, but I'm telling you, if the Lions beat Lamar Jackson, I really think that the Lions maybe could go undefeated the rest of the way. And honestly, that would be so cool. The first year the Lions are doing good, they make it all the way to a first round bye, the NFC Championship. And if you look at the national media, specifically Pro Football Network, they're finally shifting their narrative and rankings on the Lions, with the Lions currently having the number 3 spot in their power rankings. But I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, let me know, do you think this was the Lions' best performance of the season? Do you think they can go undefeated the rest of the way? Where do you think they make it in the playoffs? I want to hear from all of you, and I'll be responding. But anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy. I'll see you next time. Peace.